Hey everyone, welcome to Life in a Disney Wonderland. My name is Amanda, and today I wanted to go over a few tips and tricks that you should know before embarking on your Disney cruise. But before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the family, and also drop a comment down below if this is your first Disney cruise and any tips, tricks that maybe I may have missed that you'd also like to add. So checking in for the Disney cruise is super easy, and the things that you will have to do are capable of being done within about 10-15 minutes, depending on how large your party is. But what you will have to do during the check-in process is upload a selfie image of yourself, typically with not a lot in your background. And the photo has to be of just you only, not within a group photo, which it will give you the qualifications while you're checking in. And it will also ask you to upload your passport or your birth certificate, depending on what form of identification you would like to use, as well as your state ID. This information is nice and secure. Disney does not give away your information, and it's kind of just like a verification just to identify you and just to make sure that you are who you say you are. Also, during this check-in process, you will be asked to give your credit card information, and it's just a bank card that you will have to give. You can give it for one person in your stateroom, or each person can have their own card on file for themselves specifically, and you can change those settings within that check-in process time. And your credit card information is simply just for any purchases that you may want to make on the cruise ship, which we will talk about later in this video. They have lots of options to choose from. However, this information, once again, is just everything is secure, and Disney will not play with your money. Trust me, they will not do anything. If you do have any questions, of course, you can call Disney Cruise Line, and they are more than welcome to help you. They are super patient and very easy to talk to. They understand pretty much anything, the ins and outs of the Disney cruise. So pretty much any question that you have, call Disney Cruise Line. Alright, now let's talk about paying for the Disney cruise, because of course, if you're going to go on a Disney cruise, you have to have it paid off in full before you can even embark on your cruise. So starting out with the payment, Disney gives you options to pay the cruise out in full, as well as make a payment on it at your leisure, or to just pay whatever amount that you so choose. Let me explain. Let's say your cruise costs $4,000. You will have the option to pay it all in full, or you can pay the deposit fee, and then after that you can pay any amount that you so please. However, your last payment has to be prior to that date that they give you for your cruise to be paid off. So now it's time to board our Disney cruise. Boarding the Disney cruise was so easy, and I have the staff to thank for that. It's not that getting on the cruise ship would have been a hassle if I didn't have them. However, having them direct traffic and letting you know where to go at to drop off your suitcases, where to park at for the parking, and how to get in the lines and everything like that, everything was just super easy. Also, I will say that as far as getting on the cruise, you do go through a security check, and it is no different than as though you would go through TSA for the airport. You just remove the same items that you would at the airport, go through the metal detectors, get your belongings, and you are set to go up the escalator and get ready to board the cruise ship. After you go through your security check and you go up the escalators, you will see lots of Disney decor, and you will also see on their TVs that they have advertised the Disney boarding groups that are going on right now. I believe my family and I was the boarding group 19, so we didn't wait that long. So I also wanted to note that prior to getting to the Disney port, after you've done your check-in process, you will be able to also give a boarding group time slot. And when you do that time slot, make sure that you are arriving during that time slot, and you will also receive a boarding group number. That number just states, hey, when we announce that we are boarding group XYZ or 123 in this case, that's when your group will go. Do not board if you are not boarding with that group. It's not that they are against it completely. However, it just helps keep down their crowds and keeps the lines and everything moving. I also want to note that while boarding the cruise ship, we didn't stand in any line no longer than about 10 minutes each. So the lines move pretty quickly. Just make sure that you still have a little bit of patience because sometimes you never know what can transpire. And I also want to let you know that make sure that you eat and drink before arriving to the port because you never know the wait times. And of course, you won't be able to have anything to eat or snack on before you get on the cruise ship. Also, when you are boarding on the cruise, if you take any medication, or if you have anything specific that you need health wise or anything that you would just like to have by your side, make sure that you put that in your carry-on bag. Disney will allow you to bring a few items through TSA directly without like your suitcase having to be boarded. And they will give you a list of all of those items as well. But make sure that you bring a little snack if you're a diabetic, for example, just so that you don't have any hiccups and you can feel your best before boarding the Disney cruise. Disney is known for their theming, for their staterooms, and when my family and I went on the Disney cruise, we had the Princess Tiana. Princess Tiana's room was so nice. It had a mural of one of the end scenes in the movie, The Princess and the Frog, and oh my gosh, it was stunning. The bed was nice and comfortable. They also have a pull-out bed on the overhead, as well as a couch that converts into a twin-size bed. And everything was just perfect about the staterooms. They had double bathrooms. One bathroom has a sink and a shower and a tub, and another bathroom had just a commode or a toilet and a sink to wash your hands. And this stateroom, oh my gosh. My family and I, we booked another Disney cruise, and we are also getting the Tiana room as well because we just fell in love with this room. Everything about it was just amazing. I also wanted to note as well, after you board the Disney cruise, that your stateroom will not be available. So if you're a little antsy-pantsy like myself and still try to go, you will see that you cannot go see your stateroom as soon as you board. It depends on what time you board, but most times they are not available for you to walk into your stateroom. They're still cleaning them and getting them prepared for you. But you can also use that time to walk around the cruise ship, get acquainted with the floor plan of your new home away from home for a few days, and just kind of take some nice pictures and just soak in everything that is about to transpire and just get prepared for what's to come. Now let's talk about the number one thing that everybody cannot wait to get on any cruise ship for, and that is the food. Disney has so many options, from the cantina to barbecue to handcrafted food, burgers, anything that you can think of, fried rice, congee, crabs, shrimp. Disney has pretty much it all. Disney showed out when we went on our Disney cruise, from ribs to barbecue chicken, collard greens, mac and cheese, chicken tenders, sweet potato fries, regular fries, anything that you can honestly dream of or have a taste for, they had those items. So while waiting for your stateroom, you want to make sure that you hit every last spot that you have available to you guys, and make sure that you fill up on their soft serve, because OMG, their soft serve ice cream is delicious. They had lots of flavors to choose from. Their flavors do change depending on the day. They also sell ice cream on the cruise ship as well in their Inside Out themed ice cream shop, and they have different flavors like cookies and cream, bubblegum, and things like that. So just depending on what you have a taste for, but Disney has a lot of ice cream and a lot of options to choose from, and they also have their signature Mickey ice cream. My niece, who was 16 when we went on our Disney cruise, enjoyed the teen area so much. They did a lot of activities that are teen related, whether it's video games, board games, trivia, karaoke, dance parties, scavenger hunts across the cruise ship, you name it, they kept those teens busy. Also, to piggyback off of that, I took a little tour of the kids area, and OMG, the kids area was super submersive. It was very interactive and it was very entertaining, and they have so many things for young kids, from hands-on activities to arts and crafts, games. They even had toileting and different stalls for kids. They had hand washing stations that were kid sizes, and just anything that you would ever dream of having as a kid, they had it. And honestly, if I was a kid going on a Disney cruise, I would be in my glory. Just leave me down here and I will see y'all when it's time to get off the cruise ship, because they had everything from Star Wars to Marvel Avengers, Disney princesses, animation, drawing, anything that you can ever think or dream of. And they also have staff members there with them at all times. You have the option to check them in yourselves, or if they're of age and you trust them, they can check themselves in and out, depending on, you and your child and what you feel is best and fit for them. But the kids area, the teens area, I was a little jealous of my niece and my other family members that came when they were able to go in and be immersed in nothing but Disney and everything of that nature. On the Disney Wish, we had 3 different restaurants that were in our rotational dining, and they were Worlds of Marvel, Arendelle, and 1923. I honestly could not tell you which restaurant was my favorite because I loved something from each restaurant. And I also want to note that whatever waiter or waitress that you get on night 1 will also be your waiter and or waitress for the remainder of your cruise. And honestly, I just love that so much because it allows you to have a more personable relationship. You build connection with them. They learn your likes and dislikes. For example, I went to one restaurant and they reminded me that I had a shellfish allergy, and I'm just like, how did you know that? Because I forgot I put that on my questionnaire and on my check-in process, and I put everything in there, and they were aware of that, and they remembered before I could even remember, and it was my allergy. So just different things like that, that they are just so personable, and they're amazing people, and I just love them so much. And also, if you want to ever try multiple items on their menus, feel free. They do not judge. They do not care. They will get you every last item on that menu if that's what you want. You can get 2 entrees, 3 entrees, 1 dessert, no entrees, all dessert, no dessert, all entrees, all appetizers and desserts, no entree, whatever it is. They will get you whatever you ask them for. And they just, honestly, like they're amazing people. Like, they really are amazing people. Disney definitely knows how to handpick their staff members, because these members they're amazing. Also, on the Disney Wish, they offer you other dining options, but those options are available for a fee. They do cost extra, but if that's something that you're not into, don't worry. Honestly, the amount of options that Disney has that are available and inclusive of your Disney cruise, you probably won't even miss out on those options. But if you're someone that also likes to try it out, go for it as well. The more the merrier. But also, if you can't, don't worry, it will not make or break your cruise, because again, they have so many options. All right, let's get into some entertainment. Disney, of course, is known for their entertainment, and they have lots of it on their Disney cruise, from outside shows to their stage shows. You name it, they have it all. When it comes to their stage shows, however, in their theaters, you are not allowed to record inside due to special effects and things of that nature. And Disney just wants to keep that part under wraps. Of course, if you were to sneak and record those videos, that would be you. I would not try that, honestly, because you don't know what the repercussions could be for that. So speaking of our characters, let's talk about the character meet and greets. This is my favorite part about the Disney cruise. Not only do you get to see Mickey and his friends, Chip and Dale, but you also get to meet them and have lots of pictures with them. And y'all, OMG. Meeting with the characters were so fun. And honestly, I got starstruck when I went to go see Princess Tiana, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's Princess Tiana. You could not tell me at my grown age that that was not Princess Tiana. You could not tell me that was not Princess Aurora, Ariel, Moana. You could not tell me that those were not the Disney princesses strictly from their movies. Now, speaking of the Royal Gathering, this is an event on the Disney Wish that only a select few who have registered to do the Royal Gathering are able to do. The Royal Gathering is amazing. You meet up to 5 princesses and you just take pictures, interact with them. And oh my gosh, when I say that Detail Disney did their thing, Detail Disney did their thing. Moana was talking like Moana. Ariel was talking like Ariel, was talking about the dingle hoppers and thingamabobs and everything like that. Tiana was talking about beignets. Tiana had that southern New Orleans accent, talking about the bayou and things like that. And oh my gosh, the little girl in me was just screaming. Now, I also wanted to add that make sure that you are arriving about 10 to 15 minutes prior to the meet and greets for the different Disney characters, only because the lines do get long depending on the characters. For example, we got there about 15 minutes prior to meeting Princess Tiana, and boy were we glad, because the line got super long. Of course, for Mickey, the man of the house, his line was super long. And then for meeting Goofy, once again, his line was long. Not as long as Mickey Mouse, but it was still a good wait time. I also want to note that when I went to go visit Anna and Elsa in Arendelle, their line was super long. It was wrapped around the entire dining area in Arendelle, and also meeting like Spider-Man, his line was long. So it just depends on the characters, the times that they have available to do the meet and greets and everything like that. The meet and greets you don't have to register for. You just show up, but again, make sure that you're showing up at a reasonable time. You either wait prior to meeting the character ahead of time, or you come on time, which is considered kind of late, to the point where you're towards the back of the lines. Alright, so speaking of meeting these Disney characters and getting your photos taken, let's talk about something that is very important and a big decision: the photo package. So when we went on our Disney cruise, we bought the Disney photo package, the unlimited package, and that was specifically tailored for our stateroom. Everyone that is in the stateroom will technically be covered under that umbrella of the photo package. You only have to pay for it for one person. However, everyone in that stateroom with that one person gets the free photos. And how it works is, no matter where you are, whether it's Disney Island, on the cruise ship, before you're boarding on the cruise, any photo that Disney's photographers take for you, those pictures are inclusive of your photo package. Also, anyone in your stateroom with you or under whoever has the photo package, they are also granted access to that photo package. It just makes it a lot easier as far as when it's time to choose what pictures you want, simply because you can choose however many photos that you would like to keep, because they are technically inclusive of that unlimited photo package. Now, there are 2 different prices when it comes to purchasing the photo package. If you buy it prior to your sailing date, it'll be cheaper, versus if you want to say, you know what, I want a lot more pictures than I thought, so I'm just going to grab the photo package while on the cruise ship, it's going to be a little bit more. The photo package for my family and myself on the next cruise that we are going on in November is costing about $204. Yes, that may seem like a lot. However, the last cruise that we went on, we had roughly 170 photos, and that's just from the restaurants, the photo ops, the meet and greets, you name it, any option that we had to take photo ops, we utilized. And honestly, we didn't even take a picture at every last photo op. So to have that many photos, I can only imagine someone that goes to every last photo op, every last meet and greet, every last character, and just get all of those photos. Now, if you're saying, I really don't want to pay roughly $200 for an unlimited photo package, that is also fine. But I do want to note that for one photo, it's roughly $18 to $20 per photo. So if you were to buy 12 photos, you're already looking at that same amount as though if you were to buy the unlimited photo. So that way you don't have to choose your best 12. You can just have those 12 and many more as well. All right, so speaking of purchasing items, let's talk the gift shop. The gift shops are only open on the day at sea days, and that is strictly when you're in between islands. They do not open while you're at the islands, and that's just because they want you to purchase items on their islands or at other islands, and that's pretty much it about that. Now, I will say that Disney does give you the options to also make purchases prior to boarding the cruise ship, which is what I did. I bought the ship speaker, the Bluetooth speaker that floats in water. It resembles the Disney cruise ships. It is so amazing. And it is not something that you can purchase in their Disney gift shop, which is why I purchased it. I also did a purchase of the room decor for Christmas time because that's when we went during their Maritime cruise. And that is also purchased prior to boarding the Disney cruise ship. I think they give you a time slot of how many days before you board that you have to have that paid and everything in reserve. And that is on their onboard gifts site. You can access that through their app, their Disney Cruise Line app, and it'll give you a link and it'll send you somewhere where you put in your reservation number and everything like that. And you can shop around. Again, those items are strictly to be purchased prior to boarding the Disney cruise. Now, when you're visiting these gift shops during your day at sea, I also wanted to note that you do not need your bank card nor any cash because during your check-in process, you have already added your bank card information in. So what you do is you just charge it to your room or you bring your stateroom key and they will put that tab on your room. I also wanted to note that they do not have bags to carry your items. So make sure that you have a reusable bag, no matter what form of bag that you may have. If it's a Disney bag from one of their parks or Disney Springs, or just a regular bag that you may have to carry your items. They do have bags for purchase. However, they do not put your bags in the famous Disney bags when you purchase from their gift shops at their parks and Disney Springs. Now let's talk the Disney Navigator app. This app is amazing. This app will also be your best friend. This app lets you know about any entertainment going on the cruise ship, any free giveaways, photo ops, character meet and greets, you name it. They also have a movie theater on the cruise ship, so it'll also let you know what movies are playing and the times as well. Y'all, this app is amazing. I also want to add that Disney does give you free complimentary Wi-Fi, just the basic Wi-Fi, so that you can access this app. And within the app, anyone that is in your stateroom, it allows you to text them directly through the app so that you can communicate in case you guys decide to divide and conquer and go separate ways for a little bit and just want to meet back up. It allows you to do that. One thing specifically that I also loved about this app was that if I wanted to meet Spider-Man, but it was like hours away in case I would maybe forget that I wanted to meet Spider-Man later in the day and get that photo up, you have the option to heart that specific activity, and as it gets closer to that activity, it'll send you a little reminder like, hey, don't forget that you asked for this reminder that you wanted to go meet with Spider-Man, have a photo op, and then go and enjoy the rest of your day. So just as a little friendly reminder, the app does do things like that. If you heart it, even for your rotational dining, it lets you know what dining room that you will be embarking on for that night. And then it also gives you the option to see about the menu and things that you may want to possibly try prior to going to the restaurant. So it's just your best friend. But that is the end of this video. I hope that these tips make your trip a smoother sailing. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Join Life in a Disney Wonderland, and I will see you on the next video. Toodles!